Hi, Mark here. Thursday, January the 22nd. That's 9:40 a.m. Eastern. That's 2:40 p.m. GMT. US session well underway, getting into the closing stages of the European session. Let's have a look at the US dollar's performance. US dollar being sold off today. Yes, it did fight back yesterday following the fundamentals and Trump's taking back his threat of military action in Greenland and taking tariffs off the table. That was positive for the US dollar. But then again, today you can see US dollar being sold off. Just my take on that situation is, even though Trump has agreed to take off tariffs and reaching some agreement with the EU and NATO, I think the fact that tariffs get thrown out there every time there is a disagreement and every time something does come to the fore, I don't think will just be forgotten that easily, as even if in this case they are taken away. I think there's a certain amount of nervousness that anything that does happen in the future, or any type of disagreement, it's kind of the first thing that's going to be done is, well, I'm slapping on tariffs. And I don't think that the EU or any other trading partners will welcome that that way of negotiating going forward. Having said that, US dollar weak today. I've got resistance at 98.66. I've got support at 98.34. Sellers will look to test, break below this support, which they're doing right now, and take and further sell off the US dollar. If there's going to be a turnaround, if the US dollar does fight back through the US session now, maybe a bounce up off the support level, looking back up at the 98.66. Let's have a look at the majors. Euro against the US. And there you see Euro strong against a weak US again today. Started the week strong euro, weak US dollar. Yes, there's the fight back yesterday by the US, but you can see today that the euro is strong against the US. US is struggling again against the euro. I've got support at 116.72 is support, and resistance at this point is at 117.24, and that's the level that buyers will look to break above, or at least if demand for euro, buying euro, selling US, is maintained, to hang around these levels. A turnaround, if the US dollar can turn things around from weak to strong, then a bounce down off this level, we'll see sellers looking back down below 117. The pound against the US. Not as exaggerated and drastic as the euro, similar pattern, but less so on the pound. I've got support at 134, 134.1. I've got resistance at a little bit lower today than yesterday. I've got resistance at 134.51. So there's that narrow 50 pip range. At this point, buying pound, selling US dollar, weak US dollar again. Buyers will look up at this 134.50 or higher. A turnaround from weak to strong US dollar, sellers will be looking down again at this 134 level. US dollar against the yen. Here, it's still a case of strong US dollar, green candlestick. That's US dollar has strengthened against the yen today. There was a gap up to start, and so far holding on and maintaining. Bear in mind, we've got weak against weak here. The yen has also been weak and not really able to fight back against the US yet. I've got support at 158.18. I've got resistance at 158.89. If the US can maintain against the yen, buyers will be looking up at this resistance level. If the yen can fight back, if a weak yen can fight back against a weak US, sellers will be looking down at the 158.18. And then the US against the Canadian. Again, Canadian has shown a strength against the US last 3 days. Even yesterday, the US did fight back, but wasn't able to close higher. And today, again, selling US, buying Canadian. I've got resistance at 138.44, and I've got support at 138.04. That tough 138 level, that's what sellers will be looking to test and break below. Right now, sitting at that 138.08. If US can fight back against the Canadian, it'll be off this 138 area, now at 138.10, and buyers will be looking back up at the 138.44, but we have seen strong Canadian over the past few days against the US. So we have resistance support levels to work with, resistance and support levels being tested right now. Weak US dollar, as I say, to now that we're into the US session, we'll see whether that can be added to or maintained, or if the US dollar can fight back. Good trading, and I'll see you at the end of today's session.